Hi guys, how's everybody? Well, I decided the other day that I should go out and do a little shopping. You know how you do every so often. And I was strolling around and I looked up on one of the shelves and I'm juggling my makeup wipes and my new brush, and I just pointed. And my husband, being the kind soul that he is, jumped up and went over and pulled down what I was pointing at. There in front of me was this delightful looking palette with sultry on it. This is the eye look I got with that palette. Don't get too excited. We're still talking about me now. Yes, it's called Sultry, but it's Sultry by ProFusion from their Glitter and Glam collections. Now this one, they've had a Sultry palette out for quite some time. It's got a lot of colors in it. This one hasn't got quite so many colors. Let me get that mirror out of the way. This one hasn't got quite so many colors for the eyeshadows, but it's got a couple of others over here to go with. Now, the eye look that I've got is using this one called Platinum, this one called Heavy Metal, this brown up here that's called Cookie, and then a little bit of the gray, which is Weep, and then the black, which is called Nightlife. Now, I'm going to attempt to show you how to do what I did over here and duplicate it over here. Yes, I've got the rest of my makeup on. At some point when I put this video up, you will be able to find all the information on what I used down in the description box. But right now, I'm just more concerned about showing you how I did what I did, which for me is kind of flashy, and I like it. It's like I don't normally have collection palettes like this, and the fact that it's even called Sultry, that's close enough for me. Anyway, what I have done, and one of my favorite things to do when I'm putting on eye makeup, is, like I told you at one other point, I used the technique that I saw that Laura did, that, and I corrected it finally. It's cat ears, not cat eyes. But I started, this has already been primed. I did that while I was doing the other eye. But what I did was I started with a color in here that's called Whipped. And it's that little bone shade that was in one corner. Now, once I get the Whipped on, I'm going to put an eye shield on, because I've got all the rest of my makeup on. We need to like shield just a little bit so that I don't make too much of a mess of the rest of my face at this point. Once I get this eye shield on, to try and keep excess eye makeup from being all down in my highlighter and such, which I can touch up after doing this. Yep, there's my little dog again, being a grr. My delightful husband is trying to keep his little mouth hushed, but he wants to be uppity today. Anyway, there's that little bone color called Whipped. Just basic. What I did on the first eye was I took a crease brush and I started drawing. I drew the first line for the cat ear, and then I brought it up and over. I have very, very hooded eyes, and they're very crepey. So, like I have said before, I do not necessarily use the same kind of motions or pattern that you might see with some other people. Because if I did it that way, there'd be nothing to see. Because, like I said, if I open my eyes, there's almost no lid space whatsoever to work with. Now, I didn't use a lot of the cookie. I just kind of outlined a few things here. And then I started working with Weep, which is the gray, and I kind of did a slightly secondary cat ear, just kind of sketching it out and laying it in. And then I picked up this nice dark black. I like it. And I just started kind of first pouncing it on the corner, the outer corner of that lower lid, and then started bringing it up into the rest to darken everything up just a little bit before I started putting all the flashy stuff on. Now, these delightful metallics in here, yes indeed, I played with it for quite a bit before I got into trying to put them on. I decided I was not going to look too much like a dodo while trying to put these on. So I discovered pretty quickly that a wet brush was definitely the way to go with the metallics. They're really pretty glittery, but they are a pain to try to do dry. And there's nothing really to look at if you try to do them dry. Now, once I got to this point with the little bit of black and the little bit of gray and the little bit of brown, I picked up the silver metallic called Platinum. And I started working from the inner corner and I actually went again, which is one of my habits, going up the eye as well as going across the lid, because that way I've got some of the color up above the crease, so you're going to actually be able to see it even with my eye wide open. We definitely need to keep the colors where everyone can see them. See, because if I, like I said, if I just put the color right across my lid, which is the most standard pattern, if I close my eye, excuse me, if I open my eye wide, you're not going to see anything except what's on the immobile lid. There's nothing else there. I would have to sit around with my eyes shut the whole time for you to see any of the hard work that I do on the mobile lid. Then I went after the metallic called Heavy Metal. Once I got the platinum as far as I wanted it, and just went from where I stopped with the platinum up and over, and used the black as basically a base for the heavy metal, so that there's some different shadings. And then I took a little bit of that heavy metal down and onto the lower lash line. There we go. Now this will settle out just a little bit with its colors once we start getting a bit more dry, and the platinum is gorgeous. And for the unholy heck of it, just because I felt like it, I took a little tiny bit of the coppery metallic in here that's called Cheers, and I just kind of went between the other two metallics just because I wanted to put as many of these colors on here as I could. So you get just a little bit of the pink and red that's in the copper metallic that shows up. Now, what I did with the other side is I went through and cleaned up just a tad and then touched up everything. And then got the rest of my makeup done. Take some of the glitter off. Clean this up just a tiny bit. Now, I also took that lovely pale color, Whipped, and I put that up under the brow bone a little heavier, going back over it after doing the rest of the makeup so that it's definitely got that highlight in there. The highlight has just a tiny bit of pink, so it makes it a little more shiny. I didn't do a whole lot of now, not all of this is from the eye makeup. There's some that's from the eye makeup and some that's from the highlight, because if you look over here, we got some of the same situation on this side. Lots and lots of glitter in places. Okay, that looks about even for the cleanup. I used the blush here that's called Breathtaking, and I used the highlight in the palette called Dazzle. They both look pretty good. Like I said, this is, yeah, I played with the wording a little bit because it's got the name Sultry. And there are so many people trying to do sultry palettes right now. I mean, everybody and their Uncle Fudd on the high end seems to have a sultry palette right now. And I'm like, guys, seriously? Could we like just calm down a little bit with this sultry palette thing? We don't all need to have some sort of sultry palette. Now, take a little bit of my banana powder here and go under my eye just a little bit, because you kind of lose a little bit of the coverage when that eye shield comes off. It's not a bad thing to have the eye shields, but sometimes they take a little more off than you'd like them to. I like them because they keep everything mostly together and let you get away a little better with doing a technique like I just did with the makeup already on. So I'm going to pop off for just a minute, finish up doing the liner and the mascara, and I will be right back. Hi, I'm back. This wasn't such a big tutorial. This wasn't such a big chatty thing that I normally do. Aren't you happy? Anyway, this is my eye look. This was my $5 Sultry palette. And the rest of my makeup. Tell me what you think. Leave me a comment. I'd really love it if you'd subscribe. I'd like it even better if you gave me a thumbs up. If you subscribe, please remember to hit the little notification bell so that you know when I put up a video. I need to go find a party. I don't know where I'm going to, but I really need to go find a party with this look. Be good.